My name is Eric, and I run a traveling mechanic service called Patriot Auto Repair. I provide quality service at an affordable price, but if I gotta come to you, it's gonna cost you a little bit more. So sit back, relax, and come along for the ride. There's God, and then there's lesser gods. And I told the customer last night to say a prayer to the brake gods, because this might get ugly. Alrighty, here's our patient. A slightly frozen 02 Chevy Tahoe. The only problem is this is not going to do for an operating table. So we gotta do something about that. Looks like that might be a place worth operating. Alright, let's get the patient moved into place. A little bit better than I got it. We got no brakes at all. That's not a good sign. Not ideal, but it's better than sitting on a slab of ice, I think. Ready? Let's go. That's only the beginning of the limited amount of tools. Well, from the looks of it, it's out of brakes on all four corners, and at a minimum, 2 of the 4 rotors are junk. And it's leaking, I think, from one of the calipers. I ain't gonna know until I get it all back together. So we're off to a good start. On, and of course off. Best to cut the wheel and see how the rust breaks. Well, on the road of repairs, problem number 1. The rust ain't breaking. But I might have a out. Leave it on the carrier. You all remember that scene in MASH where Hawkeye explains to Charles what meatball surgery is? You can do that with cars too. This is how we work on old cars in Wisconsin. You're only allowed to do what the rust allows you to do. So there are times when you might have to color outside the lines. So now that we're all cleaned up, ready to install some parts, let's clean up a little. What does the unboxing say? The unboxing says we got brakes. Yeah, it needs a rotor. I only got 3, but they're really fancy. Like I said, the rust will only let you do so much. And you might even have to come up with your own procedure to do it along the way. Bet you think I screwed up, don't you? Just another example of mechanicking in Wisconsin. The rust is the hardware now. I could have put it together with the hardware, but the brakes would have ran tight and they would have bound and they wouldn't have wore right. Now, eventually, those are going to clean, that's going to clean all that off and they'll rattle, but at least they'll wear right on their last ride to the junkyard, I suppose you could say. There you go. You know what's going to happen to this truck? It'll never get another brake job like this again. And when it dies, it'll go to China. They'll turn it into a bug bin, send it back here, and they'll grow your food and feed it to you. Alright, I didn't record any of the squeezing the caliper back part, but it's kind of self-explanatory, isn't it? And for those who are just joining the class, if you ever do this on your Tahoe, take those bolts out. Unless you're in Wisconsin. Well, it turned into a jigsaw puzzle. But just like every jigsaw puzzle, if you stick at it, you'll get it. And the rusty line lives for now. I didn't think about the rusty bleeders though. Well, seeing as how I can only do one shoe at a time on, well, as old Helmet used to say, das is one. Well, he said it better than me. But the real nice thing about it, das is two. It's out in the sun, it's all nice and warm. I got my coat out, off, fresh jug. Life is good in rusty Wisconsin for the moment. Well, in the words of my favorite cartoon character, Daffy Duck, zoinks and away. You know what? I just realized something. I haven't swore yet, but I'm like Jimmy Swaggart. I've done it in my mind. I wonder if the anti-lock light is on. Probably. Well, Wisconsin is playing us hard now, as they'd say in the neighborhood. See that bolt right there? It used to be 18 millimeter, but now, thanks to Wisconsin rust, it's somewhere between 17 and 18. This ain't good. You might have to let this wheel go until I can get some heat on that. I threw a crowbar in the car for no good reason, I thought at the time. But it turns out, maybe, just maybe, it's Providence. I'm gonna stick that thing down in there somewhere, and I'm gonna pry back, and hopefully that bolt comes loose. Well, it should have worked. The target remains. Well, I can't shoe this hoof under these conditions. But then again, conditions change. What a lot of people don't know about vice grips is the straight jaw is the best kind. And a lot like a Sawzall, you can do just about anything if you know how to use it. You will eat bugs and you will be happy. Oh Lord, please deliver me from this rusty ass state. Grandpa used to have a saying, by accident or design. If that little notch wasn't in there, which you probably can't see, this would not have been possible, taking this route. So whatever engineer put that little notch in there, good job. You know, that was the original idea for this channel. I was going to be a automotive influencer. And those damn globalists come along and screw it all up. What choice did I have? Start talking about current events and the state of affairs of our political system. Oh yeah. You know what choice? The same choice I might be making anyway. Eat bugs. And besides, how would I live my freestyle, rusty life if you let them guys take over? I ain't, and you ain't. They call it the Great Reset, ladies and gentlemen, and they freaking mean it. This one's for you, D. You know why I don't go out looking for cryptids? Because it's entirely possible while I'm doing something like this, one could walk up on me. Three out of the 4 sightings I've had have been in this county. Shoot, one 10 miles away, maybe a little less than that. Oh, I almost forgot. I can work miracles. I'm an automotive superhero. Sometimes I have to be the bearer of bad news. He's going to be spending a little bit more money with me. So I suppose bad news is in the eye of the beholder. So I suppose it's half of it. And as you can see, it wasn't no damn fun at all. And I have no idea what the back's going to have in store for me. But it is what it is, right? Because each job is a mission. And every mission's got to be completed. Did I happen to mention that I'm getting too old for this shit? So here it is, would-be, what was I gonna say? So here it is, would-be automotive superheroes, or superheroes in general. What the hell do you think you're gonna have to do when your freedom slips away and there's no other choice except... So this is Patriot Auto Repair signing off.